I am involved in the American Cancer Society. I'm on the board. Sadly, I lost my mom to cancer. She died about a year before my kids were even born. So she never knew my grandkids. But I want to keep her memory alive and the wonderful spirit and love that she provided to me by helping to find a cure for cancer. So being on the board of the American Cancer Society is very near and dear to my heart. I also love talking to groups like yours and going to schools and reading to kids. And I'm on the board of trustees of where I went to college at St. Mary's College. I think it's important to give back. You know, places like my college gave me so much in life. It gave me the chance to thrive and succeed and become the person that I am today and get to my goals in life. So I think it's always important to remember, whether it's an organization, a group, an individual, to always give back to society as well. Because as whole, in a society, we're all in this together. And so I think we need to help each other out and to find ways of our lives to give of our time and our treasures and our talent as well. That's important to me. And I want my kids to grow up learning that too, to help each other. Doesn't it feel good when you help somebody? Yeah. Sometimes it's in giving that you receive. And I really like that feeling.
My dad always said, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and I truly believe that. So I came out of it a much better person. I've always been one to kind of take risks when it comes to jobs and trying new things. So I'd been teaching for a couple of years, and I decided, the childhood dream of mine, to own a pet store. So I quit my job teaching, and I moved to Sonoma County, to a little town called Windsor, and I bought a pet store up there. And for the next 5 years, I ran the pet store, and that was really challenging. Doing retail, I had never owned a retail store before, and so doing that was really challenging, and it was financially tough and a little bit scary. But I'm glad I did it. I think, I chose to teach writing just because I believe that it's a subject that a lot of kids don't like, and it's a very difficult subject for kids to understand because there's so many variables in it and so much variety, and there's really no right or wrong way. It's like, with math, we can teach you the formula, and once you know the formula, you can pretty much do the problems correctly, but there is no formula really for writing. And so my goal has been to inspire kids to do that. And you know what, I just come here and I just be myself, and I try and teach you guys what I've learned and help you and encourage you. And I'm strict, as you know. I mean, I hold you guys to doing your work, but at the same time too, I try and make things fun and exciting and give you guys a chance to just kind of explore and try and find your voice. And that's the biggest thing I want my students to do, is I want them to find their own voice and their own writing style. Not my writing style, not a writing style I want them to have, just whatever is there. So part of what I do is to teach writing skill, but the other part of what I want to do is I want to light a fire in students to like writing. Because if I can get them to like writing, then I feel like they're going to soar. There's nothing's going to stop them. But if they don't like writing, they're kind of limiting themselves. So that's my goal.
Yes, I volunteered because I wanted to make a difference in this country, not only in this country, but also for our own U.S. interests. Because ultimately, when you join the military, you're expected to deploy. We don't just stay stateside, or we don't just stay at our home base, but we deploy to different areas of the world so that we can make an impact. And that's really why I volunteered to be here.
I think one of the biggest challenge that I've had in my adult life was when I was trying to write my dissertation. So do you guys know what a dissertation is? No. No? Okay. A dissertation is a really big book, and it's something that you have to write if you're getting your doctorate degree. It's required before you graduate, and I had to write it when I was finishing my degree, and I remember working only part-time because I could work full-time, and I remember it took me about 4 or 5 months. I mean, it took me longer, but like the really intense writing, it took me 4 or 5 months. So just imagine your life, 4 or 5 days each week, having to sit down for like 7 or 8 hours and write. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Have you guys done that yet?
Maybe just one day.
One day? Actually, well, I had to do it for 4 or 5 days a week for like 4.5, 5 months. nonstop. And I was very disciplined. But anyway, so that period of time was probably the most challenging for me because every day you're like, okay, how many paragraphs did I write? Oh, did I write 1,000 words yet? You know, and you have to do that every day until you're done. So my dissertation, I know it's a big word, but I'm sure you'll hear it, and I hope you guys one day will get a chance to write one. But I really struggled, and it was hard, but you know, I look back now and I'm glad I went through that experience because for one, I have my dissertation completed and it's like this big. But two, it really taught me that, you know, if I just push through, like I really have the ability to do something. Yeah, that's a good one.
Even if people try to put you down or laugh at you,
Yeah.
the one thing that you should feel or take out of that is that you should try to work harder.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. Yeah. I mean, in fact, that probably gives you more strength, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to give up, and in fact, I'm going to work even harder, you know? How about you, Katie? What's like the one thing that you have been able to take away just like doing this exploration work?
Well, I learned to believe in myself, even when times are harsh.
Yeah.
I could always say, I can do it, I can do it.
Of course, everyone is going to face challenges. That's life. But then it's not about how do you overcome difficulties. It's about what was your thinking when you face challenges. Do you just think, oh, I'm going to give a try, and then if it didn't work out, I'm just going to, throw in the towel and then just call it a quits? Or you actually prepare yourself and you wanted to know, why do I want to face this challenge? What's my end goal? What's my purpose? So if you know your dream, if you know your purpose, it does have a lot of challenges. So I was a scientist, and then of course I do cancer research. So science is not easy. Sometimes the science is repetitively, you feel like you're repeating a lot of them, and you're repeating a lot of experiments. You wanted to work hard, but you also wanted to work smart, and you wanted to have a good design, have the curiosity. But then it is not easy, right? It's not easy to have failures. It's not easy to have rejections. And maybe you can be tough enough to say, I'm going to tough it up to say, okay, I will continue to do this. If it is one time, it's easy. Can you do that 10 times? And then that's the difference. I think that's the difference between a winner and the people who give up.
The great things that you guys are going to do. Pick a goal, pick a dream, and know that you can do anything in life. There's nothing that you can't achieve. If you want to do it, then go do it. Now, you may have to work for it. Don't expect it to be handed to you. Work for it. But you'll appreciate it so much more because you will have worked for it. You will have learned along the way. And you'll find that balance as well. There's nothing that you cannot do in life.
You need to start now. Find somebody who will really mentor you, even if it's like, what class should I take as my elective? Or, do you think I should try out for that sport? I think just having someone really help guide you and sort of, be that cheerleader, I think it's really important.
Yes, my message to young girls, just like yourself, is to really follow your dreams. If you want to join the military, the military offers a lot of different opportunities, exciting experiences for both men and women. And women should not feel like they are a minority or should not feel like they are left out because it's a male-dominant career field.
I wanted to recommend to all the young girls out there, find people that you look up to, and find a mentor that can teach you something, or when you feel there's something you can always discuss with them, and not just one, right? And you can find multiple mentors, and I definitely I think make that as always as a part of your regular activities that you want to do, and all the good mentor, because it's more like pay it forward, right? Because someone helped me, someone actually mentored me, and it can be a teacher, and it can be a female faculty members at the university, and it can be just some business person that you run into, or can be your dentist. And and then other times it can be your parents, and it can be your mom. And so just go seek for different mentors, and you're always going to learn from them. You don't have to learn everything from one person, but if you can learn one thing from one person, and you have so many people, and you're going to become better.
I think, I love the idea of your project and empowering young girls to go out and follow their dreams, and, I think that's fantastic, so I can't wait to see the finished product. I hope you guys will share it with me.
Okay, we will.
Okay, fantastic.